Hello and welcome back, everyone, to Explorers of Elsewhere's Tales from Elsewhere, our live-streamed Daggerheart episodic campaign thing. Hi, I'm DM Dan. It is Halloween.
Halloween.
And I'm joined by Julia, Nate, Livvy, and Dan. Hello, 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 hello.
Hello, hello, hello.
I hope everyone is sufficiently bereft of P and rich with T, because we're about to jump back in. We find our explorers in the relatively new town of Cayley Point, which has put out a bit of a distress call because the mayor of the town believes that this very night the town will be reduced to wreck and ruin at the ghostly hands of a mysterious spectral grave ship. Having started their preliminary investigations, the explorers have headed to the nearby outpost of 10th Bridge and found all of its inhabitants missing, but there were a few straggler remainer skeletons loitering in the shadows of the small outpost town of perhaps 40 unfortunate souls. Rushing back to Cayley Point, you are preparing some final kind of preparations to prepare yourself for the inevitable attack from this ghost ship. And all we can do now is kind of wait as the clock ticks down to midnight. There's a few things that you've got to do first, actually, before we hit midnight, but who would like to watch the intro video and then dive back in?
Yeah, go on then.
Marvellous. Let's go.
All across the unknown world, rediscovery pushes ever onwards to find the lands and people lost. All thanks to our brave explorers.
Hi, I'm Dan, and I'm playing Vanya, the Wolfkin Warrior.
Hey, I'm Livvy. I'm going to be playing Rayri, the Sprite Ranger.
Hi, I'm Julia, and I'm playing Lucretia, a Laravel wizard.
Hi, I'm Nate, and I'm playing Azakar, a Majani Seraph.
And my name is DM Dan. I'll be the GM in these adventures. The further we go, the more we learn of these magical tales from elsewhere.
So, we find the four of you having recently arrived back in the town of 10th Bridge. There is a plan that you're setting in motion. You're going to presumably speak to the owner of the lumber mill to acquire enough kind of wooden planks to allow the townsfolk to barricade themselves in their houses for the inevitable attack. But you're also going to need some lumber to build some decoys around the central watchtower atop the hill in the middle of Cayley Point. You're going to build some decoys in an attempt to lure the skelebobs into a killing field where you're going to raise up wooden palisades to trap them in and then do unspeakable things to them. But we're also going to speak to the town's local priestess. Who's going on that little sojourn?
Azakar is going to go, and he is going to turn to Lucretia and say, you like nature, yes?
Love it!
Good Golden's a female dragon, right, Dan?
A boy dragon.
A boy dragon.
He's got a divine winkus.
Good Golden, he is a god of nature.
Indeed.
Perhaps it would be of interest to you.
I will come along out of academic interest, yes.
Cool.
Marvellous. Okay, so, as the two of you head across town, you can see that there are a number of sort of like worried faces in in the windows watching you pass as the sky overhead gets darker and darker as you kind of begin your journey into evening. And in the southwest corner of the town, so the southwest corner of the hill at the centre of the town, you see a building that looks unlike a lot of the other buildings, whereas the other buildings are quite like high vaulted ceilings, lots of kind of sharp angles. The chapel, it's got this very kind of rounded, almost welcoming aesthetic. It seems like a harbour of peace and well-being in this kind of miasma of despair. But as the two of you ascend the steps up into the chapel, you find, like, knelt down in front of an altar, like in front of you is a slender, dark-skinned Laravar woman with like long black hair that reaches down past her waist. You see a number of very kind of intricate-looking ornamentations, like decorating her hair and the tops of her ears. And as she hears the two of you enter, she stands and turns to you. You notice that her makeup, which is immaculately applied, long kind of sweeping eyelash, long sweeping wings over her eyes, her lips kind of contoured into a tight, almost like a puckered shape, all in this bright, lustrous silver. And she regards you with these big, dark eyes, and I sense you are a fellow devout.
I am. Good evening.
She steps, as she walks towards you, you notice that the pendant of Gogoldin that hangs around her neck, which is made of like a carved, almost mossy like stone, stands kind of apart from the rest of what she's wearing. And the accent that she has is one that you've never kind of really heard before, but she kind of bows slightly, and these are troubling times. Please, this is a refuge. You may speak your mind. You may ask for help. What can we do?
We believe that we will be up against the undead. And we have come for guidance and possibly some sort of divinity to help us.
I assume, with Gogoldin's grace, that this is a hypothesis gained from travel to 10th Bridge?
It is.
This is troubling news. What would you ask of my chapel?
If I may, we believe we're up against a grave ship. It is an incorporeal mass of souls which becomes corporeal when it makes landfall. We've already struck down a few of them, skeletons and the like, but there's every likelihood it's going to be a veritable horde. Is there any type of divine magic that can, turn the undead in some way, just in case we are up against supreme numbers?
The priestess ponders for a moment. She lifts a finger to her bottom lip, pinches it slightly between her index and thumb. I am happy to lend my aid, divine spellcasting would be a boon in what is to come. Alternatively, I can provide protections for the townsfolk. I can ward their defenses. Or I can, if you intend on fighting this grave ship alone, I can imbue your weapons. With divine essence, so that your physical attacks may cause damage to the incorporeal nature of the grave ship.
Can you, by any chance, imbue fists? It's asking for a friend.
I can imbue inanimate objects with Gogoldin's grace.
So sort of gauntlets, for example.
Absolutely.
Oh, Vanya's going to be very happy about it.
He will be. He's very keen on punching.
So that's the menu, is it? Imbuing, defending, or lending aid in the fight?
Correct.
What do you recommend?
She ponders and on the one hand, I would throw my weight behind the protection of the townsfolk, of course. However, I feel that without a method of striking at this foe, you will not achieve victory.
I am inclined to agree. What do you think, Ka?
I mean, my weapon is already imbued with divinity. But another pair of gauntlets would help with that.
She looks to you, Lucretia. I smell the sense of the arcane upon you.
Guilty?
I would, if you are versed in this dangerous art, then perhaps you are already well equipped for what is to come.
I mean, potentially. Do you think that my magic will make a dent in this ship?
The priestess nods. If the two of you are able to imbue the attacks of your allies yourselves, then I can tend to other priorities in the town.
Okay, so we take care of the imbuing, and you defend the people. Is that what you're saying?
Correct. I can place defensive sigils throughout the town to ensure that any marauding undead are dispatched.
It sounds like a plan.
Splendid, yes.
What is your plan of attack? A ghost ship can fly at some considerable heights. How will you tempt it down?
We thought we might lure them with some fake townsfolk to the central area around in the centre of town while all the people are hidden away in their house.
Very good. Very good. This will... The prospect of new... The prospect of easy prey will be enticing to the crew of a grave ship. But may I also suggest that perhaps you consider the captain of such ship might be a creature of pride, of hubris. Perhaps the opportunity of a greater prize in one of you might tempt the leader of such a vessel down.
So perhaps one of us stands on the tower and waves and shouts, "Oi, I'm here! Hello!"
Perhaps.
Something like that.
Perhaps.
Well, Azakar, you heard the lady. Get up on the tower. Go on.
Wait a minute, you just said you to do it.
No, I think you look a lot stronger than me. Or do you think Vanya would do it?
I think Vanya would have.
I mean, I know
every
Rayri would do
opportunity.
it. She seems utterly nuts. I love her. But, Vanya might feel upset if we don't give him the opportunity as well.
I think his brashness will be a good calling to them.
He's just itching to sucker punch that ship, isn't he?
Oh, he always is.
So, just to confirm, what would you like this priestess to do very specifically?
To protect to put some sigils
To
around,
ward-
protect.
Okay.
Yeah,
Ward the
to
town.
protect
So,
them.
yeah, hopefully that will take out a few of the undead in and of itself as they run off to try and get into the houses or something. Landmines will go off.
Divine landmines. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Very good, very good. Okay, is there anything else you'd like to discuss with the priestess? Or...
No, I don't. I think we're done with the priestess. I need to figure out how the heck I imbue someone else's weapon with magic. If that was what she was implying.
So you can do things like tag teams and...
Yeah, it would be
okay.
like a tag team thing.
Oh, nice. Okay, cool.
Who is... so whilst Azakar and Lucretia are doing that, between Vanya and Rayri, who was gathering the townsfolk to instruct them to start this grand Home Alone style defense plan?
I think Mary's more than happy to do that. She
Yeah.
has experience. I mean, one of her experiences is treehouse architect. So she is at building things.
Okay, treehouse architect. Okay, yeah, that's fine. So one hope for that takes you down to 2. How the townsfolk are gathered around you, Rayri? How are you approaching? I mean, obviously they're like already on board in so much as if they're not on board, they'll probably not live to see tomorrow. But how are you going about kind of turning this ragtag group of commoners into an efficient workforce that is building moving decoy dummies and a lifting barricade palisade wall?
I think she gets into the centre of town, kind of gets a little box to stand on.
Huh.
She's a little bit higher up, and gets Vinny to do a big bark, get everyone's attention. Vinny, round him up. He does. He goes around, literally herding them up. This is what we're going to do. You folks, our plan. We're going to get all of you guys over there. You 10. Alright, yeah. You're building big walls. Alright? Big walls. You guys over there. Yeah? You're making mannequins. Don't ask why. We just are. Guys over there. You're going to find things to dress the mannequins. I want lady mannequins. I want boy mannequins. I want girl mannequins. I want old people mannequins. We've got to make it look real. Right. You over there. Supposed to put you. Approaching wood.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's just going to explain kind of thing. Maybe like get a stick, make a plan in the dirt. Just kind of, she's like a little Napoleon-esque rabble rouser. Just getting her, just whipping her all into shape. Master!
Okay. What ability are you using for this? I mean, it sounds a bit like
Intimidation.
it sounds a bit like a presence check.
Fabulous. Can I use my Treehouse Architect?
You can,
As a-
yes. I've already taken the hope for that, so yeah, add +2. Are you guys rolling on fire tonight?
Yeah.
What was
So 12 plus
2 for Treehouse Architect?
And
14?
presents.
14
Oh, plus your presence, yeah.
Yep.
plus my presence. What's presence? Oh, presence. Yeah, +0. Jesus.
Yeah, Beef is suggesting, Nate, that it is your presence that's doing all this. We need to nerf you. So a grand total of 14 with hope. So the townsfolk, inspired by this explorer that's come to help save them, they are galvanized to not only complete the projects, but they complete all of the projects well. Nothing has sort of like accidentally been a bit less good because they're multitasking. But yeah, the mannequins are great. Some of them even wiggle, wobble around.
It's a bunch of weebles.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Style trap.
So, explain to me, sorry, these sort of like this palisade wall idea, because it sounded like they would be on the floor and then something would happen and then suddenly they'd like erect.
Yes. Yeah, would have to have some kind of pop-up. Sorry, this is yeah, I mean, some kind of pop-up style trap direction, I guess, or all four of us. We have rope. All of us can pull them up once they get
some contraptions so that the walls are hidden under some leaves and stuff.
dirt.
Dirt, and then when they're all in this watchtower area.
Okay. Yeah, in which case that is sorted, and they've done a good job.
If it makes sense, if I'm thinking aloud, if this boat thing is going to come down near the watchtower as the skellies descend onto the fake people, we could be pulling these ropes on top of the tower to pull the walls up, and then we'll be also on top of the tower ready to bombard this ship whilst these skelly bobs are trapped at the bottom.
Yeah. Okay.
I guess we don't know exactly where the ship's going to park itself. It may not be right up against the watchtower, so for you, Vanya, who need a melee range, that could be
An issue. I'll just start punching all the skellies on the floor.
Yeah, baby.
Like Sauron in the second age
Taking out
final
5
battle.
at a time.
Amazing. Okay, so we have a bit of a plan. The barricades for the homes have been sorted. You've all managed to kind of build the decoys and the traps, and the priestess is going to go around and begin kind of bolstering the defences around the town as well. That takes, some considerable number of hours. As the lights around the town of Cayley Point begin to turn on as evening gives way to night, Where do we find the four of you on the eve of this defence?
Who is going to stand on the watchtower and do a big wave of the arms and go, ooh, look at me?
Where's Vanya? I don't know where he...
Ooh, me? What am I doing?
We were thinking if you go onto the top of the watchtower, you'll be quite good prey for them.
You might draw the captain out, I thought.
So I can like get in conflict with the captain. Yeah,
Yes.
I understand predator and prey mentality.
Okay.
I'll do it.
So Vanya's going to be posted up in the watchtower. Where's Rayri going to be posted?
I mean, it is ranged weapons. I would like to stand maybe on top of one of the Is it in a square? Like, are we trying to get them in the middle of the square?
Trying to get them in the middle of the area of the watchtower, like that circle basically. If we're gonna make fake stools and fake mannequins so that
Maybe
it looks
we're
like
all
all
on
the
the
townspeople
tower.
on there.
Yeah, we'd have to all be on the tower, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, so the palisades, the pop-up palisades that the townsfolk have built, form an octagon around the watchtower on top of this hill in the centre of the town. But yeah, I mean, there's quite a lot of room to move around within the sort of like the palisaded area. So you could be on either side of the wall when they kind of pop up, or you could be in the watchtower or whatnot. Yes, up to you.
I think I'd probably be in the watchtower as I can shoot far from all angles.
Yeah.
So it makes sense for me to be up.
Okay.
Sheltering up.
Lucretia?
I feel like I've got a lot of ranged stuff. It wouldn't be a bad idea for me to be
In the tower as well?
start out on the tower. Yeah.
Okay. And Azakar?
I'll be down on the ground then,
Cool.
around the tower.
Cool. Okay. In which case, are the four of you ready?
Born ready.
Okay. So,
Did we decide how we're dealing with the skelly bobs once they're trapped in?
Fighting round the world. Fighting them.
Fighting them.
good punch 'em.
Gonna punch them.
I mean, if I was down there, I'd punch them all, but I'm on top of the tower.
Well, I mean,
Maybe I...
well, I was going to say, you can certainly, you're in the watchtower, but it's not so tall that you wouldn't ever be able to make it down to help
No,
out.
Fair enough. Okay.
Yeah. Cool. Okay, so the four of you prepare yourselves in the central watchtower as you see the lights throughout the town kind of go out as people kind of cast themselves into darkness to help with their hiding, until all that you can see is illuminated by the moon that's partially covered over by this like light but dark, like light as in thickness but dark clouds, and you all feel the temperature begin to drop very rapidly as the clouds part and the moon seems to be glowing brighter than usual, pretty much as the clocks hit midnight. And in the distance, you see a large galleon-like ship with broken hull, tattered sails, ragged kind of rigging, is lazily drifting across the clouds, through the sky overhead. And the closer it gets, the colder it gets. And as it begins kind of drifting towards you, it gets to within sort of like far range. Who wants to do? Is there anything that you lot are doing? Because we are fundamentally in combat now. So, yeah, who wants to open up?
Did you
first?
say very far range? Was that
Very far range? But you
do we want to get its attention?
Yoo-hoo!
Could I do something very quickly?
Yes, absolutely.
Could I roll my prayer dice?
You can.
So they are 2d4s. So let's roll those. Okay, so we've got a 1 and a 4. So to keep you up to date, Julia, my prayer dice give me. I can spend one of them to reduce incoming damage, add to any roll result after the roll, or additionally I can assist in exchange of values for that many hope, and I can give that to any PC. So basically I can give some hope. I could give 4 hope, I could give 1 hope.
Okay. Yeah,
very good, very good.
Got it.
Yes,
great.
it is at far range, very far range, sorry.
As Vanya starts going, hello, over here, I go, I was thinking I'd just throw a fireball at it. Is that okay if I do that?
Yeah.
Beautiful.
I was told to attract them, so you go ahead.
I'll get their attention, you draw them in.
Okay. As this ship begins sort of like lowering down towards the ground, as it seems to be like zoning in on you, the 3 of you in the watchtower, 4 if we include Vinny. But yeah, as it comes into range, by all means, Lucretia, start.
I will make a spellcast roll against the ship. It is 16 with hope.
16 with hope, so that takes you up to 5.
Thank you.
What does your fireball do?
He needs the ship, the target, and all creatures very close to them must make a reaction roll 12.
I just imagine this ship is like coming like a doomsday, and then suddenly.
It's not going to be that big. It's D8 plus 5 magic damage if they fail their reaction roll.
Oh no, I've rubbed my face paint off. Okay, so you've rolled a was it 15? No, 17. What did you roll?
I rolled a 16. A 16 with hope.
Okay, you conjure this fireball, and as you launch it towards the ship, and like you will watch as this mote of sort of like fire gets smaller and smaller. You then watch as the ship banks.
Ooh.
And the fireball just grazes past it and misses.
Man.
Just grazes past.
Okay. I think I'm getting the measure of it.
Who's going next?
If that was a miss.
If I failed, it's your turn, isn't it, Dan?
Yes, that is very true. In which case, as it like banks off to the right, it then sort of like rotates a full 360 until it's right way up and kind of again pointing at the watchtower. And it's within far range now, and it's close enough that those of you in the tower can see that there's this kind of ghostly like skeleton crew that are hurrying across the deck of this ship like a colony of ants. And Lucretia, as it gets closer and the moon illuminates it and the ship itself kind of glows brighter, you kind of... Well, actually, Vanya, with your acute senses, you probably notice this is more, but you might not fully comprehend what you're seeing. But yeah, Lucretia, you notice this cylindrical shape emerge from the front of the ship.
Oh, no.
And you see one skeleton on the deck lift a hand up, and as it drops its hands, there is a deafening boom, and this ghostly cannonball is fired out the front of the ship towards the watchtower.
No!
Uh,
Our plan is falling apart.
so I roll a d20.
Whoa.
That
Is that what would be known as a crit?
that is a crit. That is a crit.
Oh,
That-
no.
Oh dear!
That is a crit.
Right, okay.
So, PC Dan.
Yep.
Crits are max damage, and then you roll again, right?
Yes, I'm just making sure that's the same for
That's
GM.
Yeah.
Rayri is retreating into her
GM critical
scarf.
success. So whenever you roll, you automatically succeed, and regardless of PCs. If you critically succeed on an attack roll, you also deal extra damage. Start with the full value of the damage dice, and then make a damage roll as normal to add the value.
So
This
I'm
is
just
what GM
I'm just
roll.
going to do this in one single roll, okay?
Looks like you're taking this fight on your own, Azakar. Been nice knowing you all.
The damage roll, everybody, is 3d20 plus 60.
How did you max out so good? How did you do that?
92, almost as much damage as you did to Atrak in Tail 1. Okay.
Oh no!
Ruh-roh.
Points does this watchtower have?
So what death option are you guys choosing?
This cannonball flies true, and Azakar, you look up as it strikes the side of the tower, punches clean through the stonework. You hear the sound of wood being shredded, and then a second explosion as it erupts out the backside of this tower, slightly lower down. And as you look up, you watch as the tower, you watch this stone tower visibly arc backwards from the impact, and then as it kind of corrects itself, it then begins to list.
Great. Cool.
The three of you in the tower, tell me what you're rolling realistically to try and escape this falling tower that you're in.
How far up is it?
Probably about 40 feet.
Okay. I have an idea from me.
I mean, I know I can take care of myself, hopefully. Situation. But
Tell you what, actually, what's probably easier, if the three of you can roll me a duality dice each, and then we're primarily looking at whether it's hope or fear.
Okay.
Okay.
So Ray re-rolls with hope. Lucretia rolls
I roll
with hope.
fear.
No, you roll with hope.
Oh, of hope, sorry. I misread that.
And Vanya rolls with fear.
No!
The three of you are hurled from the top of you slide as the top of the tower starts to tip and buckle under its own weight. And as the three of you are cast from the tower in a plume of smoke and rubble, Rayri and Lucretia are going to take major damage, and Vanya is going to take severe damage.
Could I argue that I would have used my teleport ability at this point to get safely to the bottom?
Maybe. What's the blurb for that?
When I have no enemies in melee range, which is true,
Yes.
I can make a spellcast roll, and I'm aiming for 13. On a success, spend a hope to disappear from where you are and reappear somewhere with far range that you can see. So I would just go down to the ground.
Okay.
Need to roll
Yes.
duality dice for that.
So yeah, roll me the spellcraft.
It's 14.
That is a crit.
And that is a crit.
Really?
Yeah, because you got
Nice.
doubles.
Okay, so double 7. That is a crit. So
We'll spend the hope to teleport to the ground, please.
okay, Cool. So you teleport to the ground. So I'll downgrade it to minor damage because there'll still be like bits of timber and stone masonry and whatnot flying in all directions. But Azakar, you watch in horror as this tower just collapses backwards. Thankfully, not onto any kind of buildings of Cayley Point. Well, I think that's it for my turn. I'm not going to push the issue. Who wants to go next?
Can I just ask how damage works? So we've taken different levels of damage. What does that mean?
So if you take...
What do I put on my sheet?
So if you take minor damage, that is 1 hit point. So you mark 1 hit point of health. Major is 2. Severe is 3.
I can use an armor slot to negate 1 point, can't I?
You can, yes. So we're using the new armor rules. So you can expend one of your armor slots to reduce it down 1 level. So from severe to major, from major to minor, from minor to nothing.
Minor to 0?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll mark an slot in that case.
Okay. Who wants to go next?
I'm using an armor slot. Just as a note to make it to severe to major. Okay. I was going to argue a feat and see if I could narratively spin a feature of mine that I've got as part of the character, but I think it's a bit far-fetched.
What's the feature? Acute senses.
No, I've got this. So my 3rd level warrior card, Scramble. It's worded because it's meant to be a short range thing. So once per short rest, when an enemy in melee range would deal damage to you, you can avoid the damage entirely and safely move out of melee range from the enemy. So I was waiting for like a big hit from a boss or something. But obviously,
if you want to scramble away from the tower, I will allow
it. Okay, I will use that feature then to stop the severe damage.
Okay. Ray, have you got anything up your sleeves? Are you just eating shit?
I think she's going to eat. We just kind of... Vinny provides 2 extra armor slots for myself. Vinny just kind of throws himself and me off the tower. And uses a little cushion, and we kind of skid along.
Sure. Okay, very good. Okay, in which case, the 3 of you pick yourselves up. Azakar, you're there's a cloud of dust that's emanating out from this tower. But it's your collective turns. Who wants to go next?
Peter, is it still within far?
Yes. Well, it's probably very far now because you're suddenly 40 foot closer to the centre of the world.
That's different.
Rough. That was rough.
Crits, yo. By all means, if you want, either you can hold fire for it to sort of have another go, or if no one else wants to, if everyone else is waiting, Lucretia can have a second go.
Yeah, I can't. I can only do stuff at far. The most I can do is far range. I can't go further than far. So
I will happily sling another fireball at it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is anyone in need of any healing quite yet?
She's got a little cut on her face.
Okay. I've also got Bolt Beacon as well, so I can also do the far.
Ooh, I think I
should
do that.
Okay, well, Lucretia, it's your turn again. Make your attack roll with your fireball.
Oh, sorry, I'm doing it. I thought.
I can do it.
Sorry.
Well, it's very far at the moment. Bear in mind.
Oh, fine. Let me do this. So 8 plus 7 is 15. Was that 15, 16, 17, 18 with hope?
With hope again. You are up to the maximum of 6.
I am. Yeah.
Okay.
It's getting a bit embarrassing, actually.
So it was. Sorry, was it? What was it again? Sorry, 15, 18.
So if it's 18, yes.
18.
Quick maths.
Okay, roll for damage.
Oh, how do I do that?
What does it say the damage of your fireball is?
The damage of my fireball is 1d8 plus 5 magic damage using my proficiency, which is only 1.
Yeah.
1d8. No, so we're on a proficiency 2 at this level. So now it's 2d8 plus 5.
I don't think Julia bought the proficiency upgrade.
No. I think you.
No,
get it
it's
anyway
just you get
2.
it anyway.
Oh, is it? Oh, okay.
It's
automatic. Okay, very good.
2d8 plus 5.
Yes.
So presumably, can I type that into
Yep.
Foundry? How do you do it?
So
you
slash.
can press the little dices
Yeah.
at the bottom.
Oh.
Yeah. Click the d8 twice,
D8.
and then click the plus button underneath.
Roll it! 9.
Another d8.
Roll it! 1. 10.
10.
10 magic damage.
Okay.
Have at ya!
So you hurl the fireball and it, like, despite the fact you've just tumbled 40 feet out of a tower and sort of like teleported down to terra firma, like as you look up, and you're able to focus in this moment to hurl the fireball true. What was the thing about the blast radius damage?
So it basically says that the target and all creatures very close to them must make a reaction roll. Sorry, so you only take the damage if you fail the reaction roll.
Okay. Fail the reaction.
Or they take half damage. So they take 5 if they succeed on that.
Okay.
So roll individual dice for all 40 skeletons on the ship.
500 skeletons on the ship.
So, adversary reaction rolls. How do I do that? I assume it's just a d20.
Possibly?
I
I imagine they might have different stats or.
Oh, I just lost it.
Reaction roll. Here we go.
I was looking at adversary.
They don't generate clear or additional GM moves, so they don't contribute to the action tracker.
It's a duality. Okay, but then I will roll with a d20. Okay, cool. So these are... So some of the crew get caught in the explosion. Okay. So let's just roll 4d20 and look at the numbers separately. One of them is fine.
I think 2 of them are fine, aren't they?
What's the target?
12.
Oh, is it 12? Okay.
The number is 12.
So two of them are fine. Okay, so yeah, as this blast of fire kind of erupts.
When you say fine, they still take 5 magic damage.
Yeah. So as this blast of magic kind of rips across the hull of the grave ship, it actually does still consume a full 4 of the crew, and that is 1 damage to the ship. Okay, cool. As that happens, as a reaction, as the ship kind of rocks away from the fireball, you see a number of the crew on the ship, and you see one in particular, Lucretia, that's sort of like grabs onto a rigging rope and leaps off from the back of the ship and swings along the length of the ship, and then releases and then sort of like hurtles through the air and lands next to you.
It's the ghost pirate, LeChuck.
So it emerges within close range of the attacker and immediately activates. So as it lands, it immediately kind of surges to its feet and swings with its cutlass. This is d20 -1. A 9 versus your evasion.
Oh, no, he does not. He misses and I go, fascinating.
So you jump back as you say that, and this rusted scimitar just swings air, cuts through air in front of you. Okay, so that was Lucretia's turn. Who wants to go next? Because Lucretia rolled with hope.
Happy to.
I mean, if you wanted to run towards it, then you'd be in far range, Livvy.
Run towards
the ship.
Yeah, so I was going. Well, I was going to get the one that's come to ground
Okay.
Get him. Get him.
Yeah.
So
that's certainly within close range of you.
Yeah.
Go get him.
Exactly. Yeah. So as we're like, me and Vinny like dust ourselves off, got like a bit of blood on my nose, and I just look over and I just see just this new sort of witchy, like, witch that's with us just goes, oh, fascinating. And I'm just, Jesus Christ. And then I jump onto Vinny and we charge.
Okay.
At this Skelly Bob.
Yep.
An attack roll. Let's get this one up. It is a chomp attack.
Chomper.
A chomper.
Chomper womper.
Oh. Absolutely.
Absolutely whiffed it.
Roll. Okay, so that is a 3 with fear. 3 plus something with fear. That takes me up to 6 of 12 fear. So yeah, as Vinny kind of lunges in for this skeleton, the skeleton, like for a moment, just turn. Like as Vinny lunges, the skeleton crouches and turns incorporeal, and Vinny and you go straight through it, and then it rematerializes.
I don't like.
I will reactivate off the back of that, and the grave ship will fly in closer, and it's also coming down to Earth.
Do your thing, Van. Yeah.
Worryingly, as it reaches the top of the hill, you watch as the hull, starting from the back, the wooden planks, like the ghostly wooden planks, seem to almost start peeling away from the hull of the ship. And the mast, the central mast, suddenly snaps and bends. And Azakar and Vanier, Azakar specifically, because it's landed in front of you, but you watch as this ship slowly transforms into this large, sort of like 30-foot tall ghost ship golem. As the wooden planks turn into sort of like legs, the cannon that it had fired has kind of migrated. Like the hull, like the front of the hull is now its right hand with the cannon barrel poking out of it. The sails that are protruding from its back make it look like fins that run down its spine, and where its head would be is what you presume to be the captain's deck, because as well as all of the skeletons that are clambering up and down this thing, there seems to be he stands out for his impressive hat. But there's this skeletal captain stood astride this ghost ship golem as he points to you, and all of the eye sockets of the skeletons on board glow with this intense cold blue flame. But yeah, Azakar, it lands in front of you, and as it transforms, it swings one of its fists at you. That's not what I wanted to roll.
Yeah, it was. You missed.
Oh, well. So as this, and you notice that now that it's touching the ground, the ghostly wood seems to be shifting into a more physical state, and the stench of rotting wood fills your nose as this fist arcs towards you, and you're able to just duck out the way of this cumbersome swing. But then the ghost ship golem stands to full height, and there's a chorus of screams of the dead from the crew that are clambering across its hull. That's it for me. Who wants to go next?
Oh my gosh.
Well, Dan P looks eager.
I think you are vibrating right now.
I want to be its friend. Please, Transformer Ghost!
Sounds cool, doesn't it?
Is Vanya taking his turn?
Yeah.
Okay.
If anyone wants to tag team in who have lots of hope, feel free. But I'm gonna go arcing straight at this golem.
That is a clarion call for you, Julia, if you would like to tag team with Vanya.
For sure. That would be great.
That would be 3 hope you have to spend to do the tag team.
I've got the hope, don't worry.
Sweet.
So you spend 3. So Lucretia spends 3 hope, and between the two of you, tell me how you're combining your efforts and powers into a singular attack.
I quite like the idea that I tap my staff against your gauntlets, charge them up with magic, and then you can do some kind of leapy punch or something.
Yeah, I imagine seeing this thing apparate. Vanya just shouts out, "Lucretia!" and just tries to dart by you, raising a gauntlet.
Yeah, okay.
In anticipation.
I'm gonna hold up my staff ready to imbue you.
And as the gauntlet scrapes across your staff, the fact that you have... Do you cast like primal magic? Or is it arcane magic?
It's arcane.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure how the magic amplifies the primal magic in the gauntlets, almost like a matchstick scraping against the lighter to light a flame. And Vanya just goes charging in to basically punch against this golem's leg.
Okay.
And now what happens here, Julia, is we both make hope duality rolls.
Yes.
And we're looking to see who gets the better rolls out of us two.
Do we use particular modifier for this?
Yes, we do.
You would use your spell
I'll use my spell
casting trait,
no
problem. Knowledge. Yeah.
Right.
I'm
probably Vanya roll for attack.
Yeah.
You're going to do an attack roll and I'll do a knowledge roll.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's a 23 with hope for me.
Which is better than mine, I think. Wait, hold on. What did I just roll?
18 plus something.
Plus 3.
Attack. So 21 with fear you rolled.
Yeah. What was yours, Julie?
23 with hope.
Then yours is better, and we take that, and we both get a hope.
Only Lucretia gets a hope.
Okay.
Oh yeah, because she gets.
Whoever rolled the hope gets a hope. Okay, so Lucretia, as you kind of imbue Vanya's gauntlets with additional arcane power, the two effectively, Julie, you can have a look through your spell list and figure out what spell did I enchant Vanya's gauntlets with?
Probably a wild flame spell, something like that, to add extra sort of fire to his gauntlets.
So a 23 is a hit. Please, both of you, roll me your damage, and then we'll add it together.
Remember, it's this is just roll your damage. Sorry.
So what does that mean?
So what's the damage of wild flame?
2d6, and technically it would also add a stress target.
Okay. So add a stress onto yourself and then roll 2d6.
It says
does it add stress onto the person, into the target?
2d6 magic damage and a stress to any again.
To the ship. Okay, fine.
So I'm gonna roll 2d6. 5.
Okay, and what's Dan rolling?
15. So we do 20 damage in total.
20 damage in total.
It's very good.
Could I have spent is there any creatures within very close?
Of its legs, probably not. They'll be kind of hovering around its torso primarily.
Yeah, because I can't reach its torso. I can only reach his leg at this point. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I won't cast anything else.
Well, in which case, Vanier, as you leap up and your stony gauntlet connects with the side of the ship, you feel the now physical rotten wood hull splinter under your fiery, icy blow. And it sends, like, you see ripples and cracks emanate from your point of impact, and a number of skeletons are sort of like knocked away from the ship and just like discombobulate as they float away. That is major damage to the ship.
Yeah, baby.
As you, like, Vanier, as you sort of like then put your feet on the side to push yourself back to land, you look up and notice that a skeleton, one of the crewmates, has just leapt off the side towards you, cutlass in hand, and it's going to swing at you as it lands. Or
is that a did you initiate something to do this? Like,
it's an immediate reaction.
It's like a reaction.
Immediate reaction.
ships
Sorry.
used to
Yeah.
have, yeah.
Cool.
11 to hit against Vanier.
My evasion, hold on, is 12. So no.
So the skeleton, sort of like the cutlass embeds into the dirt where your feet were a moment ago as you kind of spring out the way, and then it looks up to you and as its jaw unhinges. Who's next?
Take it out!
Azakar?
I'll go next. We can see the captain, can't we?
Yes.
How far would you say he is?
Well, he's 30 foot up, so he's close range if you're at the feet of the ghost ship, which you are.
Yeah.
Nice.
I am gonna.
In exchange for an agility roll, I will let you attempt to clamber the ship.
Actually, I was gonna fire at him.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I was gonna fire a bolt beacon at him.
Oh, very good, very good.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep, roll to hit.
Mm-hmm. It's not very good.
So I think as you go to hit the captain with your bolt beacon, I probably would have said something like, "Go on, Azakar, you can do it," and you can re-roll and take the new roll.
Thank you.
Go on.
Wow.
With
That's the only
with
time I
that.
get that in this fight.
Oh, thank
I
you.
can't do it all the time.
With those added words, I'm also going to spend a hope to use an experience to use Keen Sight,
Okay.
which will give me a +2 on that roll.
So down to 3.
Oh, and it's a crit.
We love it as a crit.
Baby.
He doesn't even need to die before he does it anymore. Okay, yeah, roll me damage and then add your max damage on top of it.
Okay, so that is 2 2d8 +2. So roll that. That's going to be an 8, and so that's 2d8s, so 16.
So 24.
Yeah, 24.
24. And what else does Bolt Beacon do?
Deals that using proficiency and making them glow brightly, they become vulnerable. They become
baby.
temporarily vulnerable.
Okay. You know what? What does this look like, Azakar?
Sort of upon seeing Vanya, this little skeleton, like avoiding the skeletons, he knows that he's got it. He is going to look straight back up and see the pirate captain just at the top. He's going to sort of swift his hands around, producing sort of like this divine bolt that comes from somewhere in his wrists, and then just aim it sort of straight up at him, right into his face.
Okay.
Hey.
You watch as this bolt of light arcs up and sort of like towards the ship and then kind of course corrects to follow along the side of the hull as it kind of races up the side of the ship. And the pirate So the skeletal pirate captain is peering over the edge, having just been rocked by Vanya and Lucretia's combined attack. And in this moment, Azakar, the captain cannot react quick enough as this bolt strikes him under the jawbone, and his jaw and skull disintegrate in a flash of light. Off the back of a crit, I'm gonna use the damage threshold for a pirate captain. So that is 3 damage. That is severe damage to the ship. So it's taken 6 damage. And as the pirate captain is blown to bits, and glowing bits of captain kind of litter themselves across the ship, lighting it up. Who wants to go next?
Pretty good.
Pretty sweet.
Ray, I think it's your moment.
Yeah, so the captain is now.
The captain's gone, and you can see that the ship is starting to seemingly come apart at the seams. Like the golem is kind of wobbling under the jaw. It's effectively, Azakar has taken out the central nervous system of this ship, and now it's just kind of flailing and thrashing. It looks like it's on its last legs.
Oh boy!
Seeing this, Rayri, she sort of stands back, and with one hand, she kind of blows into her hand, and you could just see this little corrosive fireball just kind of start to build up. And she sticks it onto the end of her crossbow. She's gonna do I suppose you can do a corrosive projectile spell, but it's cooler if it's more of a ballistic on an end.
Sure. And Azakar, your bolt beacon with the vulnerability, is that on damage or attack? Vulnerability.
Yeah.
So vulnerability, it makes so if a creature is vulnerable, that means any attacks against it has advantage.
Okay,
which means
the hit roll.
Advantage in this game.
Plus
add an
6.
extra d6 to your roll.
Cool.
So I added my.
That's it.
My
And does anyone else want to add anything onto Rayri's attack roll? Any prayer dice or?
I'm just looking.
I don't have enough hope to do anything.
I need to add a d6. I need to add my d6 on. I see.
That's tasty.
Advantage.
I mean, I can give you both prayer dice if you want to aid you in that roll.
What's prayer dice?
The prayer dice are what I can give you. So I've got a 1 and a 4. So I can technically give you 5.
So you got to 16.
16.
I think if I remember rightly, the ship was around 17. If it still has.
Yeah, I think so.
Is there any more bonuses?
I mean,
do I get?
Would it?
Because it's a spellcast roll. Do I get plus? Do I get my plus?
Oh yeah, you haven't added your. If you haven't added your ability mod.
So I get +3 anyway.
Oh okay. Cool. 19.
Way.
Cool. Roll for damage.
In the ends. So yeah, she adds it on and she just blasts it straight at just the center, just going for the heart of the heart.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's 2d6 plus 4, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11.
11? 11? Well,
11
that's minor damage, which is 1 damage. And Rayri, explain to me what happens.
She's there. She's there. She's got it. Got it. It's really tall. She's really small.
Yeah.
Just like, there's this little burning, sort of like sticky bomb that just kind of flies its way up. It just gets its mark, just hits it straight in the middle of its chest.
Internally, because the holes started to peel apart, so it's
right in there.
Yeah.
It's like it's the shot of her life.
Okay. And in which case, as this skeleton crewmate turns to look at this arrow that's just sort of like landed and that then begins to glow brightly, as there is this small explosion that kind of ignites the mana, the innate mana that courses through the ghost ship. You watch as this ship detonates in a fiery inferno as chunks of like rotten wood fly off in all directions, and just like as they threaten to land on the buildings of Cayley Point, they all like disappear into this misty fog like the skeletons you've seen before. But as the top half of this ghost ship is blown to bits, the legs stagger backwards a few steps until one of the feet kind of goes over the precipice of the hill, and as the bottom half of this ship kind of stumbles backwards and begins to roll down the hill, it then and dissipates as well. And as the motes of like necrotic mana rise up into the night sky, the dark clouds recover the moon, the glowing moon, and the night returns to normal.
Very can't quite believe that over.
Well done, Rary. That was great.
I meant to
Shot.
As you stand in like around the ruins of the watchtower of Cayley Point, looking at the traps that never got a chance to set off because the moment the ship touched down, within the space of a few seconds, the four of you tore it apart.
all these random mannequins are there still, like.
Yeah. As the four of you sort of like take a moment to sit down and like because of this crazy series of events that took place in probably less than a minute, as the town folks start to filter out of their houses and make their way up to you on the top of the hill, the four of you are lauded as heroes of Cayley's Point for destroying the marauding grave ship. And amongst the thrill of the celebration, we will call it there.
Aww, yay!
So, there we go. As Beef in the chat has said, yes, when in doubt, hit it. That's...
What's our reward?
The
glow of a job well done.
The glow of a job well done, yes. You'll collect your payment from HQ when you get back to Avonmore. But yeah, that is it. Congratulations, everyone. You've successfully defended Cayley's Point rather more to the point than I was anticipating, but there we go. Yes, congratulations. We are pretty much done here. I believe so. This was just a little Halloween one shot. So
Halloween.
Halloween. So the next time you see us, we will be starting like Tale 3 proper, and we will see who is sat in these gloriously honoured 4 seats here. But yeah, make sure to keep an eye out on the Eerie channel to see when that comes out. Yeah, congratulations everyone. I think this deserves some rousing outro music. But yeah, thank you all for watching. Thank you all for playing. If you enjoyed this, make sure to hit the like button. Comment down below on what your plan would have been that would inevitably be replaced by just smacking the thing. And
all plans go out the window once you start smacking.
Yes, absolutely. And to keep up to date with any further Daggerheart live streams, or to see the upcoming finale of the Campaign 2 Elysia Rising campaign, which stars Julia and Nate here, make sure...
And may also include more dressing up.
Make sure to hit the subscribe button and the bell icon for notifications when we release new content, because we're releasing loads and loads of stuff all the time, and yeah, we wouldn't want you to miss out. Also, I wanted to do a quick shout out for anyone that happens to be watching either live or like after the fact, but 2 of our guests from last time, Georgia and Theo, have a Dracula sequel podcast, the Holmwood Foundation, which is perfectly suitable for these Halloweeny times. They're running a Kickstarter at the moment. You should absolutely 100% go check that out. I'll put the link in the descriptions down below.
Yeah, they've got an episode 1 out and it's fantastic.
Yes, you can listen to it. Go and give some money to it so I can hear the rest of it, because they can't make the rest of it. You need to know
what happens.
Amazing. So yes, thank you everyone. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye. Take this off.